How you, boy Key?
Oh, good. Thanks yourself, mate.
Good, good. Nice to see you again, man. What's
Yeah, it's
happening?
been a bit of a while. Oh, not much. Just graft as usual. Yourself?
3 days after today until kickoff. I'm excited, eh? Oh, I'm
So
excited,
stoked. So stoked,
bro.
man.
I've been
Really
waiting.
can't wait.
I've got home now. I've taken off like 8 days from work just
Okay.
to, just to. I'm going back to work next week. I'm ready for this weekend's rugby. I've organized the whole thing at the rugby club. I'm going to be putting it on there, drinking myself stupid.
It's going to be a lacquer one. I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a
New
while.
Jersey, New Jersey got dropped this morning.
Oh, dude. Big fan. Big
Hey,
fan with a new sponsor. It's,
Nike. I love it, eh?
dude, it looks really good. It's definitely the next one I'm collecting out.
I'm stoked. There's no controversy about that one. The Wallabies had their World Cup jersey launch 2 weeks ago or so, I think. I actually quite like that one. A little bit shiny, you know. If the sun hits it in the wrong place, you might get a bit blinded. But I really like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the typical Australian jersey. A lot of yellow.
Yeah, green and yellow, not green and gold. Eh?
That's exactly it, yeah.
Yeah. Co-captains. Eddie Jones has called Michael Hooper and James Slipper co-captains. Between them, they've got 150, I think 253 caps. That's crazy.
That's insane. It's a bit odd for me, to be honest with you. Two forwards as captains, it's not usually the way to go, but each to their own, I guess. But I
Yeah,
mean,
I hear you.
with that amount of experience, I mean, you can't really go wrong with two co-captains in
I,
that
I
position.
don't I don't think you can go wrong, but I do hear what you're saying. You do want some sort of leadership in the background, in
Correct.
the back line. But I mean, I'm pretty impressed with that. I mean, I know they've had their issues in the past. I think Hoops with the his mental health and everything, and yeah. So I'm glad. I mean, I was watching some videos on Michael Hooper. He's been dominating.
He
Um,
always has, though.
he it worries me a little bit. Wallabies, they haven't named their squad yet. South Africa came out this morning, named their starting lineup on the Tuesday. Eddie Jones hasn't named his squad yet. That'll be on Wednesday. They tend to name them on Wednesdays, so tomorrow. Um, I don't think there'll be many surprises. Yeah,
Stop clicking that pen, bro.
yeah, no, no. I don't think there'll be many surprises. I don't think there'll be many surprises, but you know, I don't know why it's like this whole mindset thing to wait till the Springboks name their team and then to name the team. Like, does it really make that much difference?
It just depends on what kind of game plan he was going for. Now, with the Springbok squad that's been chosen, I think he's got a better of idea what type of game plan he wants to play. So you never know what he's going to choose now.
Well, I know he's choosing Quade Cooper at 10. That I know. And I know that Carter Gordon will be playing. He sort of gave that away in his press conference, which I thought was good. I went and I did some research on him. I watched some videos, and I don't see the big hype around Carter Gordon. Young guy, uncapped. I just don't see him. I can't see him. There's no spark for me.
What you thought you're trying to compare him to Quade Cooper now. I mean, there's not a lot of
Well,
people that you
one,
can you
Quade
can.
Cooper, two, Damien Willemse. I mean, he reminds me a lot of a Yankees, actually. I mean, he's there, he tries hard, but he just doesn't have it.
Yeah, but Yankees has got his own set game plan. He
Yeah.
does.
I know you rate Yankees, though, so I
I
mean, I'm
do.
talking to
He's.
the wrong guy.
I'm not 100. To be 100%, I'm not 100% sure what Carter Gordon's game plan is. But with Yankees, it's different because I mean he's got a cross-kicking game, so it does make it interesting. And he's quite a solid defender in the midfield. So that's why I'm a big fan of Yankees. To be 100% honest with you.
Yeah. Look, obviously, we know Quade Cooper's going to start there. Carter Gordon will come off the bench. At 9, they've got no shortage of skill. Nick
For sure.
White, I mean, his football skills are impeccable.
Yeah, the diving
His
as well.
Yeah, no, his soccer skills are on like first class, boy. And then
Yeah.
Tate McDermott, I rate him. He's great. I watched a
He's
couple of videos
brilliant.
on him. His step is absolutely insane. I mean, I watched one video where he stepped like 7 guys
Yeah,
on
no,
the way to the
he's.
try line. So very worried about him. Although Reinach is world class.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
to compare those two, there's nothing wrong with that. Marika Korobetti obviously will start.
Yeah.
He's absolutely world class as well. But then again, going into it, Kane and Moody matched up with him last year in that second test without an issue.
Correct.
Samu Karevi at number 12. Boy,
He's a big boy, eh?
he's big. He's
Yeah,
big, and he runs straight and he runs hard. I'm sure he's going to start. He was on a plane to South Africa, so I'm sure he's going to start.
I am stoked about the fact that they've put Andre Esterhuizen up there because he is someone that will be able to nullify that situation because he's also a hard boy.
And he's a big boy, and he's a hard
big
boy.
boy.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, you can't. I mean, he's not on. To me, he's not on par with Dialendi. Dialendi's he's a wall. He's a brick wall at 12. He's a forward. He might as well be a flanker. He's running straight at that line. He doesn't get many line breaks, but he hits the line up like a forward.
I'll be honest with you. I rate Esterhuizen over Dialendi.
I never rated Dialendi until the last World Cup. I never did until that last World Cup where he blew my mind.
No, I understand that, but I do think that Andre Esterhuizen will create a couple of gaps there for and so on and so forth, you know.
One thing that also blew my mind is they left Andrew Callaway in Australia. World-class player.
One, it's a big one.
And for what? To get ready for the Pumas. I mean, that's like saving a shotgun to take out a mouse. Sorry. No offense to the Pumas.
I don't think you should underrate the Pumas because dude, year after year they keep coming back and they keep on showing us what's going on.
They do keep getting better. I'm also excited for that Argentina All Black game. I'm sort of hoping that they'll pull one out of the bag.
Oh, dude, against New Zealand must.
They did it in New Zealand last year, so I mean
that's exactly what I'm saying. Never not put your money on the Pumas.
I still woke up. I remember waking up that next morning and seeing the score and wondered if I was still sleeping, bro.
I was stoked, dude. I was just a bit upset I didn't put money on it.
I was wondering. Yeah, you would have been rich. You would have been retired.
Yeah, correct.
Eddie Jones, pretty confident, actually, seems to be going into this game. I mean, he said in his press conference in the airport on the way out, he said, "Imagine being the first team ever to beat the Springboks in Pretoria." If you want to call this team that we're fielding the Springboks.
Oh no, they are. I definitely think they are. I do think that we've got a lot of experience in it. But we've got a couple of young guns that are coming through, and we've watched what's been going on in the up north between the Lions and the Sharks and the Stormers. I think that they're doing what they need to be doing. I mean, we don't have the depth that Liones's got or something like that, but I mean the Stormers are pulling it off. So I mean, the guys that are coming from the Stormers and the Sharks, they're doing what they need to be doing. And
the Sharks didn't have the best of seasons this last year. Neither did the Bulls. Neither the Stormers are the only one. I mean, look, we made it. We all made it up there to the playoffs.
Except the Lions.
How? I don't know. You can ask me again next year, maybe. Although we've signed Deante now, so we'll win next year. Don't worry about that.
Just because of one player. Huh?
One player. Callaway left behind. Yeah. Going back to that, it blows my mind. It's. I mean, he over the last 2 or 3 years, he's really stood out to me. So Eddie Jones is making some bold calls. I don't know how they're going to approach this game. We're going to see tomorrow with the starting lineup that they pick. I think they're going to be more focused on the Bledisloe. I don't think they're going to be focused on winning the rugby championship as much as Eddie said he wants to come in and smash and grab it. I think he wants to smash and grab the Bledisloe. This is the best chance they've had. They've got one game. If they win it, they get the Bledisloe, which they haven't won in over 20 years. Imagine being Carter Gordon. You're coming in at 23, 24 years old. Since you were born, you've never had the Bledisloe.
No, it's crazy. So I think you're 100% correct on that one. I do think that they are focusing on that, and maybe they just know that they're not going to win in Pretoria, so they're just not going to even give it a shot.
Well, we said that they're not going to win, but I don't know. I mean, the team that the Springboks have put out there, you've done the research all on that. The team that they've put out there to me is just a little bit. I mean, like you said, we've got some experience there, but. It's almost a little bit, I feel like it's, a bit of a slap in the face to Eddie Jones, like we called it a B team at first, but I'm not even sure it's the B team. This is like the C team we're fielding.
I don't think that you're correct on that one, to be 100% honest. If you look at our forwards are monstrous. I mean, you've got Ox, Bongi, Malherbe, Jean Klein. someone that I never thought it would be on the startup squad, and I mean he's made massive strides at Munster this season. Marco van Staden, absolute beast. You got Peter Steph du Toit and Dwayne Vermeulen as captain. I don't think that's not a weak lineup.
It's not weak, but it's not our strongest at all. It's not even close to the strongest.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, these are players. We've sent our A players over to New Zealand, obviously, to prepare for the ABs. But I mean, you've got. I suppose you're not wrong. I suppose you're right. I mean, Oxenchair, Bongi, and Malherbe. I mean, they normally are starting props and hooker anyway.
Correct.
Bar Jean Klein and Marvin Ori, those are not even our second string number fives. Because, I mean, you've got Etzebeth, you've got Lewitt, you've got Franco Mostert. That's already your first three picks. So now you're picking your fourth and fifth choice, to come in. Actually, not even, because Snyman's in there. So now you're picking your fifth and sixth choice locks to play. But I do understand it's a World Cup year, and we need to get the depth going. We need to get these players with some experience. And I'd rather do this against the Wallabies than the All Blacks. No offense to Eddie Jones and his Wallabies. I'd rather do it against them, and then I'd rather do it against the Pumas. So I'm not going to be surprised if the only first string team we play in this rugby championship will be against the All Blacks. We're going to see this team play Australia. We're going to see a different team play New Zealand, and then we're probably going to see this team again play Argentina, which I don't mind at all. We need that depth. Very excited about Reinach. So excited.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. You can't say that it's a B team squad. I mean, Reinach could lead any team in the world. He could be their scrum
I think
half.
he should. I think he should be our first string scrum half. So
brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. The pace on the man is absolutely incredible. And
from 11 to 15, I've got no issue. I know you're a bit concerned about Leroux, but I've got no issue with that. I mean, we've got Kurtley Orense, we got Andre Esterhuizen, we spoke a little bit about him already. Then we've got Lucanio best 13 in the world, hands down.
For sure.
Then we've got Kane and Moody, low caps, but he proved he could do it last year against Corabetti. And then Leroux at fullback, I don't see a problem with that, along with Damian Willemse on the bench. So actually, you're right. Maybe I jumped the gun there a little bit. And
don't forget on the bench we've also got Roos to at eighth man. Or I mean, I'm very sure that he could also move into the flank position. I really don't think that's an issue, but he is a eighth man. So I do think that we've got the depth. I think in the forward capacity, South Africa's always been very fortunate to have the forwards there. And the last few years, our backs are coming in hard and fast, just like the forwards. I mean, these youngsters with the speed that they got and the step, and they've actually got they're not scared to tackle, which is usually very weird for smaller players and stuff like that. But I mean, you take Ches and Colby, Kurtley Adrianse, these oaks have got no fear.
They're not scared, and they're like 80 kilos, boy.
That's exactly it. So I don't know. I think they put a good team together. Grant Williams on the bench, absolute bang over a scrum half.
Excited for that.
Dude, he's a mover. Eh?
Joseph Dweber coming off the bench. He needs the work. He needs the experience. We were not impressed with him last year. He really wasn't there last year. So, yeah.
I think what happens with Dweber is he's very strong. I just think he's overexcited. Comes in, makes a lot of mistakes, costs us a couple of penalties. He just needs to calm it down a little bit. I mean, Kwagga Smith was also in the same boat a couple of years ago. He was doing the exact same.
Right.
That egg was half flyer, getting red cards in the first 5 minutes of a game type of vibe. You know what I'm saying?
I remember.
And he did that to the Lions as well against in the final of the Super Rugby. So I mean, he's calmed down quite a bit, and it's a good thing. I think that Joseph Dweber does need the time on the pitch just to calm himself down, because he's a powerhouse. He is.
Absolutely. And I think, like you say, he just needs to get on the field, take a breath, realize where he is, that he is third choice hooker. He's not going anywhere. He doesn't need to, he just needs to do the basics and do them well.
Correct. Line out throwing. Massive.
Exactly, because that was the biggest problem. I mean, I think 5 out of 7 of the throws were called skew, And I think it's like you say, he just came in, bit of a panic, but he needs to realize, look, he is third choice. There really is no other third choice that I've noticed. And he just needs to realize that he's not competing for that position. He needs to just settle himself down and take it slowly, and especially now in the run up to the World Cup. He's got the games. I mean, we've got 3 games now plus another 2 or 3 friendlies.
Yeah.
Um,
I do think that you're incorrect there with him being the third. I think there is someone lying in wait. Ackerman, the Warthog.
Ackerman, what a name!
Yeah. But powerhouse, extremely quick as a hooker. So yeah, he's got to play for his position. I mean, there's always someone that's willing to take that place.
Yeah. Um, Predictions. I've sort of changed mine. I was on the 36-22 point, but I think we're going to be going. I think I'm going to take mine down a bit. I think it's going to be a 10-point game, based on the team that we fielded. So I'm going to go. I think it'll still be high scoring. You've got to remember, Eddie Jones has brought in a lot of rugby league coaches now for his defense, which will make a difference.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be impenetrable. Rugby league is a different ball game. You run harder, you run straighter. It's less about the step and the footwork, and it's more about run as straight and as fast as you can and as hard as you can, and just destroy anybody in your path. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how their backline, changes with that, instead of running that sideways game, because the Wallabies have never been good at just spreading the ball wide and making magic. They need to create gaps and then see what happens.
Yeah, correct.
So we'll see with that. I still don't think they'll be able to pull it off. Eddie Jones seems pretty confident. I still don't think they'll be able to pull it off. I'm going to go with a... He's always confident, actually. I don't know. What is that? Fake it till you make it, boy. Fake it till you make it. I think that's how he grew up. Yep, fake it till you make it. I don't think the Springboks coaching staff are too worried. I know that there are a couple of injury niggles in the team, like Oxenchair. He's got a bit of a niggle going on at the moment. They've kept Kitsy behind, Stephen Kitsoff. They haven't sent him over to New Zealand, just in case, because obviously if anything happens, we've only got Trevor Nyakani to back up the props. So
correct, yeah.
We'll see what happens with that. And I think a 10-point game. I'm still going to go I'm going to go around 28-18 to the Springboks. Very excited. I don't know if you're still on the same page.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same page. I would say because of our backline, the speed, the step.
Absolutely.
So I'm still going to stick to low 30s, and probably maybe make it a bit of a closer gap and call it high 28s for Australia.
Okay.
So it's going to be a bit of a closer game than what I thought it would be originally. Yeah.
I'm not worried. I'm really not. I'm very excited. I think that if there's ever been a good a chance to beat the Springboks in Pretoria, this is going to be it.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I don't think they're going to get a better gap than this. Very excited. Like I said, organised the whole Saturday to stream both games and watch both games. Excited for the Argentina game, hoping they pull off some magic there.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel that ever since South Africa left Super Rugby, and anybody, please let me know in the comments what you think, that New Zealand rugby and Australian rugby has just dropped. Does it sound crazy?
I think for you personally, it might be the situation because you're not watching the games anymore. I mean, there's no interest in watching New Zealand and Australia play now at the moment because it's always the same team that wins.
But what I'm saying is at an international level, their skill seems to have dropped. Not the provincial level, they're playing against each other, so they'll look like aces. But the Crusaders are incredible. I mean, I watched that final, and the Chiefs and the Crusaders, but they've been winning it for years, but even when the South Africans were there.
But the thing is, it just makes it boring. There's no point in watching it when the same team is going to win it every year. Because I mean, they got such deep pockets, you just can't keep up.
But it's the same as talking about the Bledisloe. It's like you haven't won it in 20 years. At what point are you just going to say, screw this bloody trophy,
But I think this is going to change. I think it's going to change now due to the fact that now they've opened up the passport situation where the teams can go back to go play for who they were playing for. So I don't think that Tonga is going to be a walkover anymore, or Samoa or anything like that, because they're going to have great players coming back to come play for them.
Yeah, I think that, like I said, I think that the Springboks will take over this game this weekend, show some dominance and beat the Wallabies. And I think the Wallabies will narrowly scrape a win up against Argentina at home. But I actually think that they might pull off the smash and grab against the All Blacks for the Bledisloe. I'm actually hoping so.
I'm
really
it's
hoping
about
so.
time, eh?
I mean, they've got these 2 games to do their experimenting, see what works, see what doesn't work, and then go all in for that Bledisloe game.
Correct. No, I 100% agree with you. It is time. It's definitely time. And I think it will be a good thing for Australian rugby if it does happen.
Yeah. Okay, just I don't think we've even mentioned the starting lineup for the Springboks in this video yet. So starting lineup: Oxenchair, Bongio Banambi, Frans Malherbe, Jean Klein, Marvin Orie, Marku van Staden, Peter Steff, Dwayne, captain, Dwayne at 8. You happy with that? I'm pretty happy with that. We called it in our last video. Yeah.
He's the right
Kobus
choice.
Reinach, happy, world class at number 9. Manu
100%.
Libbok, I'm happy. You not so much?
I'm all right with it. Like we said, we got to give the guys some game time. I was a little bit worried about, him being under pressure and stuff like that. So we do have to put him in now while we got the chance to do it before the World Cup. And I do think he's a world-class player. He just needs the time. It's the same thing as Joseph Dweba.
Yeah. Then back, obviously, after Manu Libbok, you've got your backline and your wingers and everything like that. Curly Orense, I'm happy, world class. Andre Esterhuizen, you happy? You say world class. You rate him over Dialindi?
Over Dialindi, but Ruan Janssen van Rensburg, I rate them over all of them. I don't know why this oak doesn't get a chance at Springbok. I cannot understand it.
I can tell you why. Huh?
What's that?
Nothing, boy, nothing.
Dude, this oak dominates wherever he goes. I think he's playing for the Sharks now, and he's an absolute machine. But they just don't want to give him a chance. I don't know what he's done to the coaches to not give him a chance.
I don't know. I haven't seen him play too much. He hasn't, if you saying he's world class, I haven't seen him play too much, and I'm a Sharks supporter. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch too much of them this season. I watched the Stormers more.
Yeah.
And I hate the Stormers. But maybe we'll have a look at him next year. I think we've got a lot of depth at 12, 13.
Yeah, we do.
People say that we don't, but we do.
There's definitely enough.
If you look at it, Moody on the wing now, he's not going to be wing forever, boy. He's going to slip in a fullback or either inside center in a couple of years, and it's going to be a whole different game. Like I said, Lukanya Arm at 13, Kanan Moody at 14, and Willie Leroux fullback. You're not happy with Willie? I'm quite happy.
For this game, I am. I think that we need that experience at the back, like we've got the experience at 8th man and then at 15. So we got the backline forward split with experience. So I do agree with it in this position, yeah.
Yeah. On the bench, Thomas Dutoy, Joseph Dweba, Vincent Koch, Achia Snyman, Evan Ruiz, Grant Williams, and Willemse.
It's a hell of a bench, eh?
That's a crazy bench. Eh? I'm surprised that Snyman's not starting over Marvin Orie.
You got to give the people their time to play.
Yeah, you have
like
to.
We said.
Right,
Yeah,
I think that's that. I'm happy with the team in a way. Here and there, I'd make a few changes, but we won't get into that now. We'll wait to see the Wallabies team tomorrow.
Correct.
Very excited. Like I said, still putting the Springboks up. I don't think Eddie Jones can pull it off in Pretoria. Especially with his first team, like his first game with the Wallabies. Excited. We will wait to see what happens on Saturday.
Yeah, super stoked. Super stoked.
All right, Boyki.
Hundreds, brother.
Cheers, man. See you Sunday.
See you Sunday. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.